reptiles around the world. Today, class, we're going to learn about reptiles and the habitats that they live in. Reptiles are able to live on every continent of the world except for Antarctica. Today, we're going to learn about what makes reptiles different than other animals. We're also going to discover 4 different habitats that reptiles are able to survive in. We will then look at how snakes are able to adapt to live in all 4 of these habitats. After watching this lesson, I can compare the diversity of life in different habitats and recognize the reptiles that live in these environments. Characteristics of reptiles. Reptiles are cold-blooded or ectothermic. When we say cold-blooded, we just mean that their temperature is dependent on their environment. So if a reptile gets too hot, it might move into a shady spot or back into the water. If the reptile gets too cold, it might go out into the sun to warm up. Also, all reptiles have lungs. All reptiles breathe air, so they have well-developed lungs. The life cycle. All reptiles lay eggs, and all reptiles lay their eggs on land. Even reptiles that live in the ocean, like sea turtles, go back to the land to lay their eggs. Some reptiles only live 6 to 8 years, like snakes, but alligators can live 30 to 50 years, and some tortoises can live over 80 years. Common representatives are tortoises or turtles, alligators or crocodiles, snakes, and lizards. Their environment. Reptiles typically live in warm climates, and they mostly live on land, or they're terrestrial. Desert habitat. Desert climates have very little rain and hot temperatures that then turn cold at night. Desert reptiles need scaly skin and able to hold water in. Desert reptiles tend to be smaller because there's not as much food or vegetation. Marine habitat or ocean habitat. The marine climate is made of the oceans and salt water. Marine reptiles usually live in warmer waters because they are ectothermic or cold-blooded. Reptiles that live in marine climates still have lungs and breathe air. Reptiles that live in marine climates still have to go to land to lay eggs. Marine reptiles. So there are sea turtles that live in the ocean, and they spend most of their time in the ocean except for when the females have to go back to land to lay eggs. Also, there's marine iguanas that can dive down into the oceans and eat their food. Freshwater habitat. Many reptiles live in freshwater environments. Freshwater environments are water environments that do not have salt water. Freshwater habitats can be lakes, rivers, ponds, and swamps. Alligators live mostly in freshwater swamps, but sometimes are found in people's ponds. Turtles can live in ponds, lakes, and rivers. Freshwater reptiles. On the left is the alligator, who often live in Florida. And then on the right are a red-eared slider. It's a turtle that you can find here in Kansas or Missouri. Rainforest habitat. Many reptiles live in rainforests. Rainforests get more rain than any other climate. Reptiles in the rainforest are mainly snakes and lizards. And the reptiles that live in the rainforest live in the lower levels. Snakes. Snakes can live in all habitats around the world. There are marine snakes that still have lungs but live in the ocean. Snakes are also found in the rainforest, desert, and freshwater. Snakes typically live in warmer areas because, like all other reptiles, they are ectothermic or cold-blooded. Snakes in different environments are often different colors. Some of the snakes in the rainforest are bright greens and yellows so that they blend in with the vegetation. Snakes. On the left is a snake that lives in the desert. On the right is a sea snake that lives in the ocean. And on the bottom, there's a snake that lives in the rainforest that matches the leaves around them by being that bright green. Importance to the environment and to humans. Reptiles fill the role as predator and prey. They can help us with pest control since they eat bugs. They are also pollinators.